that's a good one.
Yeah, that is true.
Gosh darn, I was gonna add something when you were going there, man. Going back to like sports and people go with the narrative of sports rather than don't look at the human element. Like we're all humans, though. Like we all feel kind of thing, and people like those kind of whoever's promoting that aspect of just focus on the sports narrative. They're kind of focusing on sports as a form of escapism or just like from an entertainment standpoint.
Exactly, which is why I love sports.
Yeah, sports is great for that too, but then also it can go to the more human element where you look at like from the Olympic level where you have like nations colliding, where you look at like hockey where the U.S. was facing Russia in like the Cold War era, and like how that brought about a peaceful interaction of the two countries to play a sport and nobody had to die over it kind of thing.
Yeah.
And sometimes like that can be overshadowed, like we're just kind of describing there as far as people are like, you know what, just focus on the sports narrative. Don't focus on what's actually what some of the athletes are protesting or standing for or speaking more of their mind, which we should all be able to speak our mind.
Exactly. Just because you are an athlete doesn't mean you shouldn't speak on at things that you see or things that you notice. Honestly, when it comes to the media and sports, like I kind of get, I mean, I don't know how a lot of them feel, but like I get annoyed for them. Because, like, the minute you play a game, like, you have reporters in your face. Like, win, lose, or draw, like, you have to deal with that. Because I remember a couple years ago, people were, like, slandering Cam Newton in the
Super Bowl, right?
Yeah, because he was upset. I'm like, he's an athlete. Like, he played his guts out in, like, the biggest game of his life, and he lost. Of course he's going to be upset. You show me a happy loser, and I'll show you a loser. Because it's like, bro, I mean, as a former athlete, I can relate 100% because, like, I didn't want to talk to people after losses, especially when I feel like there were games we should have won. So, I mean, and as a fan, I feel the same way because, like, it's annoying and heartbreaking because, like, you get so invested and your team loses. And, like, me personally, I feel like Cam's team didn't play to the level that he was. I feel like he was trying so hard, but, like, his team didn't play to the level of the other team. I mean, the Broncos won, they were the better team, and that defense was outstanding. But I feel like Cam's team should have stepped up to the plate more because I feel like he put that team on his back and tried everything he could, but they just couldn't get nothing going.
Yeah, that's a great example though, especially with the Cam Newton after the game.
Yeah.
Like, no matter.
And then also I might be a little biased. I'm a huge Cam Newton fan.
Oh, now you let it out of the bag there.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, on the aspect, like a lot of people I'm sure would say like, well, he's paid millions of dollars. He has like no matter what, even if he loses, like he has to answer the reporters kind of thing that is in the contract or whatever the case may be.
Yeah,
but at the same time, like no matter how much money you have, if you have a deep sensitive loss or in a game or sport or whatever the case might be, like you're still gonna have emotions. You're still gonna feel not to where you'd want to talk to people.
Exactly.
Like,
because money isn't a substitute for
goes back to human,
feelings.
Yeah.
Like, and you gotta remember too, because like different personality types. Some of these guys might just be introverts and they don't want to sit in front of people asking them stupid questions for however long they have to do that. Because some of those questions do be stupid.
Yeah.
And like sometimes like if you like. I can understand why athletes get irritated. Like, if a reporter says,
especially over a length of a season, like you're getting asked every single decision.
Yeah.
And you're answering to people that don't have your own. They don't have invested interest for you.
Yeah, they just want to get. They just need something for their website or for their article.
Yeah. It'd be more interesting if you had to actually be interviewed by fans. That'd be more interesting in that sense.
No, I think that'd be worse.
It'd be more worse, yes. Yeah, that's actually true. Yeah. All right. Well, but at least there's more of an adventure.
You suck tonight. What was up with that?
Yeah, there wouldn't be much positive critique involved with that.
Well, it depends on which fans there were.
Yeah.
But if you lose a game and like you missed a pass that you got dropped late, and then the reporter says, well, you like that pass was dropped late, looked like it really affected you. Like, can you tell us more about that? Yeah, I dropped the pass, could have won the game. What do you want me to say? Like, I don't. Like, and some of these guys, they have the media training and like they have these, they say these nice little responses that's media friendly. But it's like sometimes, you just got to be a real person. Like, I don't understand. I don't know. Maybe that's just me. I'm starting to ramble now because these are thoughts that just are in my head sometimes. Like when I see certain things when it comes to athletics and whatnot.
Yeah, again, the whole state of the sports world, whether it's kind of almost amateur to professional, is really interesting. Like, there's so many different areas you can dive into, whether it's NCAA, whether it's FIFA,
Yeah.
whether it's like the Olympic side of things, international level.
And I'm a huge college football fan.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like it's more, most times it's more exciting than the NFL. Maybe it's because the kids are, like, they're younger and they're more hungry, but yeah, I think it's more exciting than when the NFL level, like, it becomes a business, and, like, I feel like a lot of people, like, lose their passion when they get involved in it like that.
Yeah. Also times, too, because NCAA, like, a lot of those guys they're grinding, they're hustling, like, they're trying to promote themselves in a sense, like, how their play dictates their stock, and their stock dictates how much they get paid, whereas once they're in the NFL, they've already made it. Like, yeah, you're still, I'm not saying they're not passionate, they're definitely passionate, but it wouldn't be as probably the same passionate level when you're in the NCAA, where you're giving it all you can on every single play, like Inky Johnson. Like, not taking away any players in the NFL, like I'm sure most players in the NFL give their all every single play. But there's just a different level of passion, because most of them are trying to, well, not most of them, but the people that know they have a chance to get to the NFL, they're going all out, so that's going to hype in games.
And, like, but there are, like,
quality.
different rules and regulations that in the NFL that, like, can make it less of a game,
Slow
and
it down,
like more like a job. And
oh yeah,
I feel like I can understand and completely see how athletes get jaded after a while. Because, like, I hear stories all the time, like, whether it be in football or in basketball or any kind of pro sport, really, that, like, there are, like, some athletes that could have been so much better if they just tried, but they get content with where they're at.
yeah.
And, like, I heard that a lot about Carmelo Anthony from various sources. Like, he's a guy that, you know, can score a lot of points, but he's never like had much postseason success, never been to a championship game, and like the NBA Finals. So it's like, and people always say, like, how much promise he has, and, like, he's coming towards the back end of his career, and, like, I mean, he just went to OKC, and honestly, I'm hoping OKC makes it to the finals this year, just because I hate Golden State so much. But he's a guy that, like, you hear, like, a guy that had so much talent, but, like, he doesn't really put in the effort in certain areas of his game that can make him somebody on the level of LeBron James. Because, like, when they talk about top 5, his name does not come up.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. You're right. Just because has he even been in the postseason before?
He's been in a couple playoff games. I think, like, the furthest he's ever been is to the Western Conference Finals when he was with the Nuggets. I don't remember exactly, though. Don't quote me on that. I'm a way bigger football fan than I'm a basketball fan.
Yeah.
But I think that's, like, and he's only done that once. I can't even remember what year it was, if it happened.
So what would you want to do with sports, as far as, like, the business side of it, or the broadcasting standpoint? What would you be interested in doing with your dealings with sports, professional sports, or whatever?
I mean, I did want to be in broadcasting.
Yeah.
Like, when I was trying to find my way right after high school, because for some reason I thought being in entertainment wasn't going to work. But I don't know. Like, I wouldn't mind, like, doing commentary or play-by-play or something like that, you know, or being one of the talking heads on ESPN, but, like, not like it's like a full-time thing. Like, I'd be like a guest coming, because, you know, but that's not really where my passion lies anymore. I'm just a fan at this point when it comes to, like, pro sports. I can't really get involved anymore because I've aged out of that.
Yeah. Yeah. I hear you on that one. Yeah. It's definitely entertaining, though. It's set up to just year round. There's always sports to watch. There's always just the way it's delivered. It's addicting.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah. Especially, again, going off from the sports side to the human side, like fantasy sports is interesting, because then it takes away how you actually view somebody, rather than be a human being, but, like, what can they do for your fantasy?
I've never really been into fantasy sports. I mean, I've done it twice with, like for work leagues, but I've never really, like, been into them.
Yeah.
I don't really personally see the appeal in it, but, you know, to each their own.
Yeah, the appeal would be probably heightened, more connected you feel to watching an event.
Yeah.
Because now you have a little small vested interest, because in the day, none of that's going to affect your life.
Yeah. Well, unless you're playing with money on the line, then
then
I can
that's
understand.
a different story. Yeah. Not a betting. You ever betted before, like casino or anything like that?
I've never been to a casino, but I have gambled in the past.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. What have I done? Yeah. Like what? Like when you say gamble, like Like on games kind of thing, or like
Yeah, I've
or...
placed bets on games. I've played cards like with people. You know,
Have you ever done
tickets,
horse racing?
scratch-offs.
Horse racing is...
I don't understand how any of that stuff works.
Dude,
so no.
I don't... the main thing is just bet on one horse and say like it's gonna finish first, and then it's really fun though.
I feel like that's too risky.
Yeah, it's more of a just in the moment feel and in emotions. It's fun, but yeah, you're not. I mean, with all betting, it's never a thing you should approach to try and make money, because you're gonna live a worrisome, unstable life. That's for sure. Because you'll never be content. Are there any such thing as a content gambler? Probably doesn't exist.
Probably not.
In the definition of a gambler, it's probably somebody who is always making uncontent decisions. That's even a word.
Is uncontent a word?
Nope, I probably made that a word. But it's a new word. Because I just made my own version of a definition.
Coming to the Webster Dictionary,
yeah,
2019.
2019. Dang, we're almost done with 2018 or 2017.
Yeah, this year has gone by so fast. And like looking back on it, I feel like I haven't done as much as I said I was going to when the year
feel
started.
like that?
Yeah. There's a lot left on the table that I should have done. And like
Why
every
do you feel
year, like I've been watching things a lot lately. And like they've been talking about some things from the past, and I'm like, 5 years of my life has gone by, and like I have not remembered most of it.
Yeah.
And it's not like because I've been like overdosing on drugs or anything, because I don't do anything. But it's like I just can't remember. I just can't differentiate, because like they've been like, because I've been working so much and like doing school, and like I've been like in a rut, just with tunnel vision, and it's like I can barely remember like significant things from each year. Like 2011 when I graduated high school, I can remember most stuff, but like 2012 to like 2015, a lot of that stuff was a blur to me, because I met a girl from I went to school with. We had English 1-on-1 together my first semester at Valencia. I talked about it on the message. I don't know if you heard it. And like we were catching up with her, and like I told her, like, dang, how long ago was that? Like how long? Like I thought it was like 2014 or something. She told me, dude, that was like 2012. I was like, really? Like, oh my goodness! Like time has gone by so quickly. Like I just keep getting stuff like that. And it's like, goodness, I am going to be 25 in a couple months. I don't know. I constantly have battles with my own mortality. I feel like there's like a lot of time that I let go by that I could have been doing other things, and like I didn't.
Well, dude, the beauty of it is like you have the awareness that you've had that. Looking back on it, you feel that way.
Yeah. And
you have all this time going forward that you don't have to let squander again.
Yeah. It's crazy. Like we're in 2017. I was in 2018, and like things that happened in 2013 or 2014 seem like so long ago to me. I mean, that's partially because like we live in this microwave society when like things happen and are forgotten so quickly, and like we have this like quick attention spans nowadays, and like I'm someone that like usually can remember things when it happens, and like it wasn't that long ago. Like I try to like be different. Like I don't try and get wrapped up with this quick attention span mentality, but like I still catch myself getting caught up in it.
Yeah.
So like when I think back to certain things, I'm like, oh my goodness, I can't believe that was so long ago. Like what have I been doing these past couple of years?
Yeah. So
stuff like that crosses my mind.
Absolutely. I know the older you get,
the quicker time goes.
Yeah, the quicker time goes.
Yeah.
As time goes. And so ideally we should all, at least that's how I view it, we should all aim to live a life where how children view time, that's how I'd want to view time, where you don't even think about it really. You just become so immersed and so in the moment of whatever you're doing that you don't even think about time. Yeah.
Which is why I always tell people that you should do whatever makes you happy.
Yeah.
You shouldn't let other people control your life.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
It's a big one. A lot of people certainly do have input from other people that dictate what they do. But we live in a society that promotes that.
Yeah.
Like if you were to, even in sports, like you follow sports or whatever, we listen to broadcasts, we listen to analysts, and in a lot of ways they would dictate how you would feel about a game.
Yeah.
Well, if you were a diehard
fan. In some
fan,
situations.
Yeah.
With me, I catch myself disagreeing a lot and getting upset.
Do you follow soccer?
Not much.
Do you know if the U.S. won though?
No, I do not.
Okay, because I know they played in Orlando.
Yeah, I forgot about that. I knew it happened a couple of days ago.
Yeah, I don't know the outcome. I just recently learned about that. I was just like curious.
Yeah. Some of the players were in the mall